What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Is what it is, man. But welcome to another episode of Away Games. This week is going to be extra time. So,
Straight extra time.
what are we going to talk about today, Sean?
We are talking about should Harry Kane leave Tottenham and what is Jose Mourinho's legacy going to be at Tottenham? Is this it for him?
It's done.
Is it done?
It's done, fam.
You think it's done?
It was done at United. It was done at Chelsea.
It's done at United.
At Chelsea.
Do you think Chelsea?
Yeah, bro, from that far back. Because United, like, the narrative kept on changing.
Yeah.
So when he got to United, it was like, he wins something in this his second season of every club. Before it was he wins the league in the second season of every club he's been at. So it just slowly kept on changing.
Yeah.
And Tottenham, this is the second season, so
Oh yeah.
like he should win something, but he's been knocked out of everything apart from Carabao Cup. So
And they've got Man City.
we'll see. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't go from 2-0 against Dynamo Zagreb. I think you're going to beat Man City.
Disastrous,
Poor,
shocking,
poverty-driven.
children. Think of the children.
Think of the children.
Think of the children. Somebody think of the children.
Nah.
Bro, but yeah, no, I genuinely think he's done that. But regardless, he's won what he's won, so his legacy will always be there, and that's that applies to any manager. Louis van Gaal, when he came to us, his legacy was what he did. Jose Mourinho came under him, he managed Barcelona, he managed Bayern Munich, managed like big clubs, Ajax, you know what I mean. But he didn't do well at Man United. But he's not going to be remembered for not doing well at Man United.
Yeah.
He did win a trophy, to be fair.
He did.
And that's the same with Mourinho. So yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I think for me, Mourinho, I think United was done because for me that was the time where we could actually see, because after the Chelsea season, is at least Chelsea, they still won the title. Whereas when he came to United, it was like he started to name the Community Shield as a title that he'd won.
Yeah,
this
it's
season.
forcing a lot still.
And it was just like, wow, you've gone from titles to now saying Community Shield. And obviously, every single thing that he said about Wenger was now come back to haunt him.
Remember what I told you about like karma?
Yeah.
Remember the other time, the other day, I said that like I told my ex her bladder was weak.
And then now, yeah.
My bladder's been
weak.
Yeah, it's been abysmal.
Yeah, he
And
just
forgetfulness
blinks
as
and
well.
he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgetfulness as well. I used to get denial for being forgetful. Now I don't remember much. But I remember this at least. But that's what I'm saying. Just don't talk too much in it, because that's what's happening to Mourinho.
That's what happened to Mourinho.
So
he's getting, because even like the whole thing about Arsenal is that don't look down. You better look down. We're not far behind you now.
that was a good comeback though.
Yeah.
But why you go 3-0 down, fam?
We
don't need to get into that,
we're
but
not gonna
just
get
a
into
quick
it
one,
this
like-
week. But yeah, quickly. Mate, that first 20 minutes, man. Poor
Woeful. Shock.
West Ham. West Ham were the barbecue sauce and with the chicken. They were just all over us. We were just dripping,
Nice analogy.
struggling. We could not handle them whatsoever. They were just... West Ham are a dangerous team.
They are.
Very
for
dangerous team.
sure.
Lingard is on form. Like, they are a dangerous team, and for them to go 3-0 up was great.
Yeah.
For us to come back, that comeback is a good sign for us.
Yeah, true.
Mentality wise, because that's something that hasn't been at Arsenal for a long time. But then I come back and I think to myself, you should never have gone 3-0
In the first place, yeah.
And that's where I think I lie on that situation, is more like we should never have been in that predicament.
Fair enough, man. But yeah, just on Jay Lings and all of that, because I want, like, obviously going to talk about Harry Kane, but I wanted to talk about the England team as well. So yeah, let's firstly talk about Harry Kane. And yeah, no, he definitely needs to move. He people have seen some tweets and heard some discussions about people thinking that Man United is an ideal destination for him.
It's not.
And
It's not.
for me, yeah.
No offense, but it's not.
Obviously, Fergie, Man United, yeah. But we have to just be real. We have to be real. It's not that United.
No.
It's not a United where the owners really care about us getting to the next level. They just care about bare minimum, like make it to Europe, get that sort of income. Yeah, but they're not thinking about, okay, if we were the best in the world, winning back-to-back trophies like Prems and potentially Champions Leagues,
Yeah.
then these players would want to come and we'll be getting a lot more money than we are now. So they're not willing to put in that solid investment, and I mean smart investment, not just spending there.
Definitely.
So yeah, with that lack of know-how, I don't see that as his destination because he needs a guaranteed place to win.
Do you know what's crazy is because when I think about him, my confusion comes from the conversation that we had a couple of weeks ago. If you guys have seen it, is when we were talking about being in a club for a period of time, for a long time, is how you become a club legend. Obviously Tottenham, I hate to say it, sorry Spurs fans, but it's the truth. You're not winning anything.
You're not sorry. Why are you saying sorry?
The Tottenham of Pochettino is much better than the Tottenham today. They're not winning anything. Yeah.
It's interesting because Solskjaer kind of said something about along the lines of winning a trophy is kind of for vanity. But he didn't say it in those words, but obviously it's spun in that narrative. But you can win something, but it's not full. It doesn't show progress.
Of course, look at Portsmouth.
It's not
They
exactly.
won was it the Carabao Cup against Arsenal?
Wigan as well. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with Tottenham, they haven't even done that, to be fair. But I mean, like, like you can have one good season. Yeah, shots fired. One good season. But it doesn't show anything. Whereas under Pochettino, you saw the gradual process, you saw a playing style, and then now it's all crumbles.
It's crumbles.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. So for me, when it comes to the whole Harry Kane topic, do I think he should leave? A part of me says yes. Coming away from the fact that it's Tottenham, and me wanting them to become a worse team and go back to the bottom barrel where they belong.
Yeah.
Yes, he should. No, he shouldn't leave, so he can become a club legend. He will be known for staying at Tottenham when they weren't winning anything, and he'll forever be a Tottenham legend. However, Harry Kane doesn't come across to me as the kind of player that just wants to be a club legend.
Yeah, he wants to be. He's really ambitious. Yeah, man. He wants to be the best in the world. Like,
yes, I think he wants titles.
He said it.
I think he wants to be able to at least once in his career even get closer to lifting the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly.
And things like that. And I think he would rather be in a position where I think for him and the Mourinho playing style, although this is probably, I believe, one of his best Prolific seasons, this is not his style of play. And I think
anything's his style of play. He's that good. I'll be real.
Yeah, he is. But then the thing is, does he go to Madrid and risk a Hazard situation?
Yeah, but the thing is, why did that happen? When you think about it, why is obviously with Hazard's almost a coincidence. Like that season that he goes, because the season before he was balling out.
Yeah,
he was balling out. He won Chelsea the Europa. Like a summer, just all of a sudden everything goes pear shaped, literally, figuratively, however you want to take it. But with
Hazard became a pear.
It's mad. But with Kane, like that's why would that happen? He hasn't had a weight issue before.
It's true. Hazard has had them quite.
So unless he just always gets ankle, he's had ankle injuries before, but it's not like it keeps him out for the whole season. It keeps him out for a period. The only thing is that in Madrid, would it be a case where he gets it every month, kind of thing?
And that's the thing is I think people say that English football is quite tough and there's a lot of like kicking and things like that. I think with things like Spanish football and Italian football, it's still there, but it's a lot more
subtle.
Yeah,
it's like racism in Britain. It's more like
it's
subtle.
Under wraps. Yeah. It's like you get a kick on your ankle, but nobody knows. It's kind of like the whole Sergio Ramos and Salah situation. When he dragged him and
that was blatant.
Ripped his arm off. It was so blatant. But because the referee, I can't remember where the referee was even from.
Yeah.
But it was so blatant, but it was never a foul in their eyes because in their football, those are normal proceedings like this. So it's all relative. Yeah. Because even when people come to England, they always say you get kicked a lot more in English.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because that's more because there's fouls for it. So therefore, maybe you're now noticing it more because oh wait, then I'm not getting a foul for this. So now it looks like it's more. But before you were still getting kicked, but it wasn't a foul.
Kane will ball out. The only thing will be like whether Gareth Bale has spoken to him about like what it's like, and like I don't think you'll be put off, but you know that at a club like Madrid you'll never really be appreciated. No. Only like Ronaldo is just sensational. CR7. I mean, he is like one of the greatest of all time at Madrid. Like that's so hard to do. So unless you're him, you're not. You can be the best player in the world and come to Madrid and not make your mark.
There is only
because the Galacticos they didn't win much.
Yeah, you're perfectly right because David Beckham, as much as he's loved in England, Madrid,
he's a star,
yeah.
But in terms of his product there, like it was just good. It was alright. It was good.
Because then, like you're saying, is like in my hands that I can only name a few Madrid players who are loved by Madrid, and I'd say it's probably Zidane, CR7, Ronaldo, Figo.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's a weird one, because I don't know how to, because I wouldn't even. I would say Zidane for sure, like in terms of the CR7, like love, but like Bell, when they bought him, he was a catalyst for them winning their stuff. So
Of course he was.
they hadn't won La Decima. They were chasing for it for Bear. They signed Bell after his 6th season with Tottenham, then they won it. And then that's also with the El Clasico in that Copa del Rey, where he just twined everyone, like just ran down the whole pitch, scored that solo goal, then 3 Champions League not on the bounce. So he's a legend. Like he's a real legend. How much do they love it? But that's another thing. Then, so it's like if Kane went there and won stuff, he wouldn't be loved like necessarily. Like it's not a guarantee in Madrid. But in football terms, he would be.
Yeah, but then that's crazy because this is the thing that Kane has to kind of think about is in Tottenham.
Yeah.
I think even if he left tomorrow, they'd still love him. I don't think they'd ever hate Harry Kane because of what he's done for the club. And the fact that he's a top scoring player in the North London derby, a little thing. Because again, not to mock it, but I'm kind of mocking it. Tottenham don't have titles; they celebrate those kind of things. So therefore, for them, Harry Kane is a club legend. And by him being that club legend, wherever he goes, he will always know I'm loved in Tottenham.
Yeah.
So he can go to Madrid and be like, okay, this is for personal. I'm just going to go win the Champions League. That's what I want to do. I want to go win the league. I want to go win this cup. So that I can say on my portfolio, I've got cups.
It's true. And when it comes to like, Hall of Famers and people that you see on red carpets at like UEFA awards, FIFA awards and stuff like that, it's the creme de la creme. The Pavel Nedveds, the Paolo Maldinis, they're like grand names, right? Say those because they've got that one thing in common. They've won titles and titles and titles, and they've been part of legendary teams, right? So you can be a top goal scorer of the Premier League history even. You don't see Shearer at those events. No. You won't see Kane at those events, like unless. So here's a little caveat or like a segue into what I wanted to speak about with the Euros and the England selection. So if Kane didn't win anything with Tottenham, but he stayed with Tottenham for the rest of his career, got the top Premier League scorer of all time, but didn't win anything, no league titles, but then won at the Euros this summer. Where does that put him in standings? Like,
do you know what's crazy? I think if he does that, he leaves Tottenham for sure.
I agree as well. I'm like,
I think if he wins,
actually, wait. You think that would be more of a reason? Because then he's won something.
No, because I think that. Do you know what sometimes can happen to a certain player is a mental block, and I think mentally.
Could you turn that on, by the way? Can you just press that?
Un momento. I think that could be a catalyst for him to actually leave, because I think with everybody, I think there's always a mental block, and that mental block kind of maybe makes you think, I know I'm good enough and I score the goals, but what is it about me that I can't win titles? I think if he wins the Euros, that changes his perspective to no longer being about him, and it's being about the club, because you moved to a different team with, in essence, in a way you could say better players, and you've won something. You start to look at it as like, actually, if I've got the players around me and the mentality of the players around me, I can win titles. If I stay here, there's no mentality to win titles here, so we're not going to win titles. Yeah. So I think that could be the catalyst, maybe, to actually make him push for change. But
no, fair enough.
Because what I'm hearing, rumours is that he does want to leave Tottenham. Yeah. And the figure is 120 million minimum.
Yeah, well, that's because of Levi. Yeah. The thing is, like you say, you think it would be more likely that he would move as a result. I think it's a weird one because, say, like Francesco Totti, he stayed at Roma his whole career, and he said something about, he'd been offered by many clubs from Madrid, but he said like Madrid are not family. Like the moment things get rough, they'll throw you under the rug, something along those lines. Whereas at Rome, he feels home. you know, and Harry Kane's not like a mad Tottenham fan, like didn't grow up like that, but yeah, maybe his allegiances has swayed to Tottenham now. He
He's
could,
an Arsenal fan for those
yeah, he could stay at the club, knowing that he would be loved forever and a legend, and his doors will always be open, and like basically get the title, those world credentials with international success. Because Tottenham won, Totti won the World Cup. At that, and no, did he? Yeah, he won a World Cup. So in my head, I'm just like, he's seen on a grand scale. He had that quality. Everyone is undeniable. So Kane could do the same thing, and I don't know if he's thinking that, but we'll see if
I think
England win the
he just
Euros.
needs to overcome that mental block. I think at the moment, especially if they go into the Carabao Cup and they lose it again, this is going to be. I think for a lot of those Tottenham players, it's going to be the place of like Champions League final we've lost, Carabao Cup final we've lost. We've only had 2 finals in apparently our best 5 or 6 seasons.
They're losers.
Yeah, like we clearly are struggling to win like any form of title.
Yeah.
And then second of all, as well, going back to the whole topic about Jose Mourinho, we're talking about him being 8th in his second season and no cups.
It's crazy. It's crazy, isn't it?
This is a failure for him. This is a massive failure.
It's a big L, yeah.
Because you talk about, for me personally, obviously being an Arsenal fan, I hear a lot of Arsenal fans saying, "Well, 10th or 9th, whatever, this is not good enough. For Arsenal Football Club, it's not good enough." For Jose Mourinho as a manager compared to Arteta, this is not good enough.
Yeah, compared to Rodgers, bro. Like
compared to Rodgers, yeah, you're right. This is not good enough. Compared to Ole, this is not good enough. He should be there with Pep. I mean, okay, maybe not Klopp this season because Liverpool or somewhere else, but he should be up there with Pep. Minimum Klopp.
He's done, fam.
Yeah,
he's been.
And
done,
I think it's done. And I think this season, if I think Levi's gonna be left with a choice. And I think the players are going to put him in that predicament where it's going to be, if they don't win the Carabao Cup, they finish 8th. I think the players are literally going to be like, right, it's either him or us. And you're going to have players like Son and Kane. They're obviously going to go back to Madrid. We know that they're not going to put the money forward to try and buy him. But Kane and Son, and honest, truth be told, Tottenham fans, you know this as well. If Kane and Son go this summer, Tottenham are done. It's a wrap.
It's not a anti-Tottenham show, by the way. Just that's how it comes across. But it's because I want to know what's in the mindset of Kane. I know he wants to win stuff, and he's on record saying that like he wants to be like Messi and Ronaldo. So yeah, we're just kind of exploring the next step for him. So I think after the Euros, we'll see what happens. I think there won't be a decision before the Euros. Funnily enough, I think we'll see the Carabao Cup, and we'll see what England can do, and if there's some progression in the international stage. But yeah, if not, then yeah. Wanted to end it on who do you have starting? I know we've spoken about before, but for this Euros, that you think will let England win or
Grealish.
make England win that?
Grealish. They need Grealish.
Yeah.
I think leaving at home Grealish, there's a few players that I think they cannot leave behind.
Yeah.
Grealish, Mason Mount, Rashford, Sterling.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. It's so funny because a couple people have omitted Kane as well, and I find that wild. Like.
Because I think the thought process behind omitting Kane is if generally speaking, people are not clocking that if he finishes 8th this season and there's no cups, his head's not going to be in the right place.
I don't know. I don't know. He's a professional.
Yeah, exactly. Because I guess that's what you're right. Because even if, for example, you have a bad day like tomorrow is a new day. You start again. That's your professional. If you being a professional, you take it as a new day and you try and move forward.
It's not easy, but yeah.
It's not easy, but you do that. And I think that's why Kane may not have as much of an influential performance, because when I tell you about Rashford, Rashford's won titles. Maybe just we won, I think, Cup and Europa League. He's won titles. Sterling, Man City won titles. Grealish, what Villa have accomplished. We're talking about Villa.
Sterling, he hasn't had a good season. What do you think about Trent not being in the team as well?
I'm not surprised by it, but I think he will make it in the team.
Yeah, he'll probably make it
in the Euros team. But I understand why he's not in the team at the moment.
Yeah.
Liverpool just have not been that great.
And the right backs up for England like a stats. So, yeah.
And I think as well is there a possibility that Klopp asked for him not to go? because there's a lot of work that he's trying to do behind closed doors.
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of
That's a
talk about
Fergie
this.
move as well. Fergie would do that.
There's been a lot of talk about this going on that a lot of managers have requested. I know Arteta even said it as well. Is that he was going to ask if Saka doesn't go. There's a lot of players that they're asking, can they not go, so that when they come back, the teams are a lot more united, they're stronger, and they're better together. But obviously, they can't stop what the international manager's decision is. But I know that Arteta has been talking about asking if certain players cannot go.
Yeah, I'm sure most managers do something along those lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, Grealish, I agree with. I think Southgate's going to bottle it. He's not going to make big decisions. I'm happy for Jay Lings though, Jesse Lingard.
Yeah.
I'm happy because I think when it comes to you know, basically he's experienced success with England in some capacity. He's proven at that level. He just needed a chance to shine, and that's what he's doing at West Ham. And obviously Southgate knows him, so I'm happy that he can express himself and like show his qualities. And I feel like he'll be an experienced head in the Euros as well. Remember what I said about England winning one of the next 3 major tournaments?
Yeah.
So,
Start with this
like, because it's an interesting one though, because a lot of people are hyping the youngsters. Like now, all of a sudden, like I've been saying this.
You've been saying it.
So it's an interesting one where England end up if they don't get to like the semis, yeah, this time around, Southgate's a shambles. That's it.
Foden.
Yeah.
I think
So
Foden's going to be.
so what with Sterling? Yeah. What is it? Because he misses bare chances. Like.
Sterling misses bare chances, but look at the way they captain City this season. He's been the City captain this season pretty much.
Yeah, but he hasn't produced much this season.
But that's the thing is, look at Jordan Henderson last season.
Yeah.
You don't need to. I realise that a captain doesn't need to lead in that kind of way of like scoring goals and all those different things. A captain needs to be able to motivate his team to do it.
But if you're forward, then you should.
Yeah, of course. If you're forward, then you should do it. And Sterling has still scored goals this season. It's not like he's gone quiet and he's not scored anything. He's still scored. I just think that the mantle for Man City this season has been a different approach to gameplay. And this is why you're noticing that Gundogan is scoring more goals this season. You're noticing Mahrez is scoring more goals this season. Players that weren't scoring last season are the ones that actually scored most of the goals in City this season. Gabriel Jesus is scoring this season, but obviously that's been because of the swap. Guerrero's been on the bench, whereas Thingy has been on. I think 9 is not bad
That's calm,
for a winger.
No, I just.
But
I don't try to prove a point. I'm
this
just
isn't
saying.
bad though. 1 in the Champions League.
No, it's alright. It's alright.
9 in the Premier League is not so bad. And like I said, I think this season.
I'm not trying to say he's been bad.
Yeah.
My point is more like people saying, "Oh yeah, Sterling." Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think he's a liability when it comes to like finishing.
I love Sterling. I think Sterling.
No, I like him as a person. I think he's alright footballer.
I like him as a baller. I actually think
I think him and Mo Salah are similar still. But like you rate Mo Salah.
No,
You don't.
No,
I think you said he's one of them game changers.
I think he's a game changer.
Until I showed you that video of Hazard,
I
did
still
it?
agree he's a game changer. Yes.
His compilation are woeful, bro.
Yeah.
You know there was where people make compilation videos, and then they slow motion certain parts,
And they're like, that's so basic. That's so basic. Right?
But they do it to emphasize it, like, oh, he did a back heel or something.
Yeah, bro, he did hella basic.
And he didn't need to do the back heel there.
Yeah, no, not necessary.
And they replay it as well. I'm like, oh, move to the next slide. Like, it's poor.
No, I think the reason why I like Sterling and I think he'll be very influential for the way that England play is I think it's his experience. Experience.
That's
it's going to be so influential. It's going to be so important, especially.
He's one of the senior people.
And he's going to be very much going to help the youngers be able to be cutthroat, which I think that's what England. In a way, England need a ruthlessness to them. They need an edge to them, and I think you're right. Kane and Sterling and even Rashford to me are 3 people I can say are ruthless.
Yeah, basically.
Because then if you said to me Calvert-Lewin, I think is growing in that, but I wouldn't say what's his name? How can I forget his name?
Bamford. I can't believe he didn't make it.
I can't believe Bamford didn't make it.
It's rude.
Chelsea, Tammy. I don't think he's as ruthless at the moment.
Oh yeah.
I think he's still got some progress to go. But I think when you're talking about ruthless strikers that are literally like, I think people underestimate the idea of having a striker that in front of goal is literally like, I'm scoring no matter what.
Yeah, Haaland basically.
Yeah. Harry Kane, Sterling, and Rashford have that mentality. They may miss one opportunity, but try and give them another one.
Try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sterling's a funny one, man. I just think he gets a lot of tap-ins, and that's definitely credit to him. But that's with City creating so many chances
Yeah.
and him being in the right place at the right time,
yeah.
which is good. I just don't see England doing that. But they have players to do it.
They do have
But
players
it's
to do
just the coaching. It's not there.
Yeah,
It's not
and
there.
I think that could be the letdown of England is the coaching is not there. I don't know who I'd have as England coach right now. If you,
I just because even if you think about like technical players and building up and like having a possession based game, I don't like England have the players for that. They have the likes of Grealish and Foden and you know, people that can hold the ball well.
Madison,
But when it comes,
teams
yeah,
are
exactly.
easy.
That's what I mean. Like technical players, and it's kind of new because England haven't been traditionally known for that. But it's like whether it can be implemented. Like good players can play alongside good players, but there won't be patterns. It might just be like, okay, you're good. Let's just do something good together, kind of thing.
And that's why I think that's why I don't agree with your argument about England. I think England have a lot more talent than a lot of nations.
Yeah.
But I don't see England winning it because I don't think they
Because
have
of that. Yeah, fair
the
enough.
team chemistry idea. Because, for example, you look at Didier Deschamps and the way France play, we all know who's the target man. We all know what France's method of playing is.
Yeah.
Literally, get the ball to Giroud, he's going to flick it off on Mbappe or Nabele or Griezmann.
Yeah, anyone could do that though. England can do that though.
England can do that, but they just don't. And that's the issue, is that England just do not do those things to be able to get good
You
goals.
wait and see.
We'll see. But
We'll see.
no, for now,
Yeah, that's been Away Games, episode anonymous.
extra
yeah.
time.
Leave a comment down below. Tell
Let
us
us know what
who
you
would
think.
be in your England squad for the Euros this summer.
Tell us who you think is going to win the Euros this summer.
Yeah, exactly. Let us know. Keep communicating with us on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, and yeah, man. Yeah, stay
Hit the
safe.
like, subscribe and everything like that.
Share this.
Peace.
Bow.
What we do here is go back.